Good evening, and I'll say good evening. We are live at the MIFAL Libretto. Tonight, we will be talking about something special. This is our first podcast. We're excited. And this podcast is about a special young lady that I met last year, but, we were reintroduced this year in a different manner. So I'm excited about it. We were introduced in a different manner, and this episode is about a journey, a new position and a journey. And this journey is a special journey for her. Her name is Amaris Smith, and it's a journey for me as the founder, Mr. Orlando Q. Johnson, founder of Music Instruction for All Learners and MIFAL Arts Academy. And I'm going to take us step by step of how this journey began. But first, before we have this journey, what I am going to do is actually give you some highlights about this young lady, Miss Amaris Smith, because she is taking on a new position as the brand ambassador for Music Instruction for All Learners, Inc., or MIFAL, Inc. So let's find out some more information about our new upcoming brand ambassador. Amaris Smith is a current undergraduate student at the Pennsylvania State University. She is pursuing her degree in criminology with a minor in sociology. She has a passion in true criminal justice to eliminate mass incarceration, but she also loves exploring her creativity. She played the piano as a child and loved it, but was not able to continue lessons until recently joining MIFAL Arts Academy as a student on a very fast track with a particular goal in mind. Amaris hopes by becoming a brand ambassador for MIFAL, she will show others the magic MIFAL brings out within their students. She would also like to show others that you can do anything you put your mind to. And that is Lady Amaris Smith, the new brand ambassador for MIFAL Inc., or Music Instruction for All Learners Inc. Now, when I do anything, I want to make sure that we go step by step of how we got here. So what I'm going to do is bring on a young man that's going to talk to us, and then I'll, put on a clip after that, so you can see, so we can verify what was going on. This young man is actually Mr. Harvey Smith, Amaris' father. He came to me a month ago and asked me something. And when he asked me this question, it basically he challenged me. He challenged me. He's a football, retired football coach, and he came on and challenged me. So I will bring Mr. Harvey on and let him speak about some of the things that he came to me a month ago. Hello, Mr. Harvey. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I wanted you to actually talk about, and I'm going to show a video of you later on, but I want you to talk about how do we get to this position where we're at, where you say, hey, you start texting, and I thought it was something simple. Then you said, as a friend of mine said, hey, and I need it done by tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So we start texting a month ago, and what was going on within this text?
Well, I've been known to challenge people. I do have a athletic background as an athlete, going back to my West Virginia days, and I was known as an individual that hard worker. You know what I mean? Nothing came easy for me, so I was a person that had to work for everything I got in life, and so I've been known to challenge people, but one of the biggest things, and the reason that I came to you specifically, was because I'm a father of 8, and my youngest, Amaris Smith, who, as you indicated, is a student, a undergraduate student up at Penn State University, and very just been a joy to raise as a daughter, as a child, because she's just a get it done type person. And probably a majority of the time she puts an awful lot on her plate because she just, such an awesome young lady. But she came to me because she has some goals for herself as she's going through her journey in college. She's a junior right now, but she has some other aspirations. And so one of those things that came about was the Penn State pageant that she's going to be participating in April. So she started reaching out to me, letting me know about it. Of course, asking for some money for some of the things that are necessary to participate in it. Then the conversation was struck up about, well, what skill set? What are you going to do from a talent perspective? And she tossed some things around, and she said, but really, what I would love to do because her undergraduate is in criminology, so she wanted to play an instrument, the piano, but she wanted to play a specific song because she didn't want to just play it just for the audience, just to have a song to listen to. She wanted it to be relevant for what she's passionate about, what her journey is about, how she, once she gets done with her formal education, how she wants to impact our community and our country. And so she came up with some specific songs. So that was tough in and of itself. So then she said, this is the song I really, really want to play. And she, basically threw the ball in my court, as our kids do. And so I said, wow, well, the only person I know with that kind of musical skill and talent and ability that could even potentially get it done. I said, I don't know if he can or not, but I'm sure going to ask the question. Because I've learned in my life, if you don't ask the question, if you ask not, you have not. All he could do is say, no, it's not capable. It's not possible. And so that's what brought me to you a month ago and just sent out that simple text with no expectation. If you would have said no, I'd have been like, fine, we'd have moved on to the next thing. But you being the person that you are, you seem like the type of person that is willing to accept challenges like I like to give sometimes. And you said, well, let me think about it. And, can you send me what the song is and so on and so forth. And I can't remember exactly the timetable, but you got back to me relatively quickly and said, yeah, we can make this happen. And let me come up with a game plan. And you spoke my language as a coach. When you say game plan, that means you can make it happen. And that's exactly what you've been doing. And you gave me the timetable and the parameters. I told Amaris, if I'm going to make this investment, I expect you to go in full tilt. But I knew she would, and I told you she would. She's that type of dynamic individual, and I don't think there's anything that I can remember goal that she has set that she hasn't achieved in her life. And so that's what brings us to where we are right now today.
Excellent. Well, we've talked about it. We mentioned it. Let's bring her on and, talk to her a little bit, and then we'll let Papa go off while we do the rest of the interview. And here is the lady of the hour. We just had your father, come in. We told the audience about you, and everyone's excited. Everyone's wondering what is going on with Lady Amaris Smith. She's and he failed to mention that she's a 4.0 student, all A's, so she just does it. She just does it. I'm mad, but that's okay. I'm mad at her, but that's okay. She didn't go. She went to Penn State instead of the university, but that's okay. But she is here, and let her tell her part of the story, before we remove Papa, and then go on with the interview.
Well, first of all, hello everyone. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you for all the supporters who are joining. So my name is Amaris Smith, as they have said. I'm a junior currently at Penn State University, majoring in criminology with a minor in sociology. The reason I am here today, so I'm participating in a pageant in April called Miss Black Penn State. And basically, we need a talent for the pageant. And so I was considering what I wanted to do, because I never really did a talent for a pageant before. I previously did a pageant, but it wasn't a pageant that had to have a talent in it. But this one did. So I considered a few different things, but I thought about playing the piano because, one, I thought, it would be different. Most people don't really know that I played piano when I was younger for a short period of time. And I also thought, it would be a challenge for me and it would really, set me apart from maybe the different contestants. And it would be a challenge for myself that I could grow and learn along the journey. So, along with that, as my dad already said, I wanted to play Freedom by Beyonce because it went directly with what I'm passionate about, which is the criminal justice system and criminal justice reform. And so the word freedom itself really speaks to that and what I'm passionate about. So I wanted to take on that challenge. I didn't really know how I would do it. Even speaking to other people, they're like, Amaris, I don't think you should do that. Like, maybe something else. But I didn't really let that deter me from what I wanted to do, because I feel like once you put your mind to something, then you can really get it done as long as you have the discipline and the motivation to do it. You can get it done. And Mr. Orlando has really been a joy with helping me along the journey. Like, it's really been a two-way street where I'm putting in the work, he's putting in the work too, been helping me. So
And we want to thank Dad for coming on, because I wanted to surprise her, because he's there to support. And we'll say, Dad, thank you. We'll continue on with the interview. And we'll, near the end, we'll show a clip that he did for us because we're working on some other stuff too. So again, Mr. Harvey, I appreciate you for even thinking about me.
Yep. Can you put me, is there a way you can put me in the backstage? Because my schedule is freed up. So if you can put me in the backstage so I can watch the rest of it, that would be great.
Okay. Well, give me 1 second. You are in the back. I'll put you in the backstage, and then you better.
Did I challenge you again?
Of course you did. Of course. Of course, but I have to talk to my technical. I have to talk to my technical person, who has used this platform before, and she can tell me how that's done. All right. Thank you. All right. Back up here. Yeah, there she go. All right. Now, Lady Amaris, you came on as, now, what was the first thing? And I'll say that first. And that is the first question. This is a live interview, and I wanted to know, I asked you because I seen how hard you were working, and I know what it takes to do the 2 pre-law, and that's a lot of work. And then when you came to me with a talent, saying, I want to do this, and you and your father were saying, look, he said, how about 3 or 4 lessons a week? I'm like, huh? Because that is something that has never been done. And I'm like, it's normally 1 lesson a week, come back and, play what you had to learn, then we move on. So you are on an aggressive, because he used the word aggressive, you are on an aggressive road to your journey. And I said, we'll both take this journey, because you said, and I want to tell everybody exactly how you felt when we first started. And I told you we're going to do 3 lessons a week. It's going to be a lot of work, a lot of practicing. And when we out of 4 songs, I picked the one that would be easiest for you, and that on a technique way, because it only has several chords that repeat, and you only have to do 90 seconds of the 90 or a little more seconds for your. I said, now if you got to do 90 or more, you're more than that, you're in trouble. But if we just do that 90 seconds of the song, we're good. And so when you first started your lessons, how did you feel?
Honestly, I was nervous. It was kind of something that I was just like, I'm going to do it. I don't know what will be the return of this, but I'm just going to do it. I was nervous just because I know I didn't have any prior experience really when I did it when I was younger. It really wasn't really learning how to read music. It was more so I learned like a little song, had a recital, and then that was the end of that. But now I'm basically starting from fresh. learning how to play the piano. So I really was nervous as far as like the time that I had to learn the song itself, especially once you sent me the music notes and how the song looked. I was like, I don't even know what this looks like. It's like learning a new language. So, and doing that in such a short amount of time. So, yeah, I was nervous, but I also had hope. I saw that you had hope in me. So that kind of gave me more motivation to, and let me know that it would be okay. You know, we can get to this goal together, especially once you know, like, once you let me know we're in this together, I felt better.
Amen. Good job. Now, you did tell me at one time you was ready to like give up, or you were just you had some anxiety. So where did the anxiety come from?
Well, it was just a lot. As you said, like 3 lessons a week is really a lot, especially on top of my busy excuse me, busy schedule already. I'm already taking 15 credits. I'm in an executive board. I'm in 2 different committees. I'm a mentor for 2 different organizations, and then I do volunteer work, and I'm also a part of a nonprofit organization outside of college. So I was I was pretty stressed out. I had a lot of anxiety. You know, I was even telling my dad, like, I have a lot going on. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But then as time went on, it really just made me more stronger, like mentally stronger, and learning how to really manage my time and prioritize certain things, and how to also leave time to myself so that I can prioritize everything and be able to do everything that I'm involved in. Because if you don't give that time to yourself as well, then that's where burnout comes in.
Excellent, and that's an excellent answer because sometimes we do have to have time to ourselves, and that's actually one of the last
Mhm.
questions that we're going to have, and that I have, and I appreciate that. Now, when the question, what made you decide after I asked you the question? Because I said I'm gonna talk to my wife. I said she would be the best brand ambassador because she's actually learning about the brand. She's sticking to the brand. She's understanding the work, because to anything that you do in the arts, you have to work. But you're getting triple the work every week. You're getting triple the work. You're not just getting one scoop. You're getting a triple scoop of everything that is going on. And this is almost like I've taken this project on as like you're in college. You're taking 16 courses, and this 16th credit is 3 days a week. So 3 classes a day. So this is your 16th credit outside of what you're doing, but you have the goal. So the first question is, what made you decide to become a brand ambassador, or the first brand ambassador for MIFAL, or Music Instructors for All Learners?
Yeah, so honestly, I really saw what MeFoul was doing for me. And even beyond myself, I know my niece, I have a niece who's also in MeFoul, and I know that she really enjoys playing the piano herself. But with me, I'm a bit different because I had a specific goal in mind. I had a short time frame of getting to that goal, and I see the results already producing. More than what really I thought could happen. Like I didn't even think it was really possible. I'm thinking that I would more so learn the song like right before the pageant, but I'm already about to like finish learning the song. So really becoming a brand ambassador just rewarding for me because it's just showing others once you set your mind to something, you can do it. And then MeFoul itself is really what allowed me to have that kind of mindset with learning a whole new instrument, because I have that mindset when it comes to other things like my schoolwork and things like that. But with learning like a new instrument, learning a new song, learning how to read music, I wasn't so confident in that area. But once I started having my lessons with you, Mr. Orlando, you really just like fed me that positivity that I needed. And so I can see how that will influence like other students, other future students, especially young students as well, because young students need that. And I would want to spread that awareness of what it really is to learn music, because it's more than just hearing sounds and hearing music. It really is, like you say all the time, there's theory behind it, and really you're teaching your brain how to think in a different way. So I think that it's really like learning a new, like I said, learning a new language. And, there's science and stuff behind what that does to your brain. But I think that teaching other students that and just exposing that to other people is really it can be influential for them, and then it can bring other people to MIFAL and benefit them and benefit the brand as well.
Excellent, excellent. And I like what you said. Music is a language, because just like you learn a different language, reading music, you're reading a language, and people don't really think about that. And I just had that epiphany, been doing it all my life. I had an epiphany like the end of last year. Music is a language, because you're learning, when you speak language, when you play a piece, you're not just playing notes. You have to make people feel what you're playing. Music can make people feel the same passion that you're playing your instrument. They have to feel that same passion when they hear it. So you are so right.
Yeah, and you help, understand really the art behind music more than like I could, understand by just listening to it, the different sounds and just everything that goes into it. It's really like an art, and just it's really beautiful once you start to learn the depth of what music is.
And you did say something on one lesson. It says music, and you just mentioned it too. Music helps you in your learning skills, because you said in one lesson, well, look, I got to play one hand, got to do something, and one hand got to do something else. So I say, yeah, because it's going to be two. You have to separate the two skills in both hands. And so, enlighten us on how that felt when you first, when you started putting that skill together.
It was so hard at first. I remember complaining to you. I'm like, this is hard. I'm over here doing this in one hand and this in the other hand at the same time. Like, how can my brain do that? But then you realize your brain can do that once you start to practice it and once you start to separate the two. And that's where the learning comes in with your brain. It really it's starting to transform your brain in a different way and in a positive way. I don't fully know like the science to it, but I know that when you're forcing your brain to do two different things at once, it's like forcing like your left side of the brain to do something where we mostly use like our right side or just one side of our brain. So I think that that's really unique just to know that. And then really me being able to do that it's shocking to me, because I even remember a previous TikTok trend that was going viral where you had, it was like you were doing this in one hand and this in the other hand. And a lot of people couldn't do it, but people who did music, they could do it. And it was like everyone was looking at them like, wow, how can they do that? But then I'm learning like that's what music does for you. It teaches your brain how to do two different things at once. It's very beautiful.
We're going to come back to that. And what do you think are the benefits of being a brand ambassador? Now that you're the brand ambassador, now what are the benefits?
Yeah, I think the reason why I became a brand ambassador also speaks to like the benefits of being a brand ambassador. Number one, I think it benefits everyone involved. First off, it benefits me just because I'm able to grow and to really understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, understand what MIFAL is about, understanding what MIFAL is doing for me, how it's helping me grow and beyond learning music. But like I said, like the whole developing my brain, challenging me and really reaching that goal that I want to get to that I might not have really thought was possible previously. And then it's also benefiting MIFAL because, like you said, it's also a challenge for you, and it's showing, the lens of what really your brand can really do for people and do for students. And then for potential students who are seeing me bring awareness to the brand, they would want to be a part of something that is being so influential into a student's life, more than just listening or knowing how to play a specific song, but really knowing the art and beauty behind music and how that can play into your daily life.
Excellent. And with that, let me ask you a question. in the school system today, because I know you may follow what's going on, what do you think about them? Because what do you think about them not supporting the arts as they used to?
Honestly, there's a lot of different areas I can go with that question, but I think it really goes with like living in a capitalistic country that's so focused on money and um, just not creativity, not really promoting creativity in children. And I think that, obviously that's not really a good thing because, like I said, when you're learning an instrument, you're really forcing your brain to know a different language. And they say people who know a different language are literally smarter than someone who only knows one language. And it's because your brain knows how to do like multiple different things. You're just expanding your brain in a lot of ways. So I don't understand why our school system wouldn't want that for the youth to expand their creativity, and because really that's benefiting them and it's still benefiting the society that we're living in. So yeah, I think that it's it's really limiting people's talents. It's limiting people's capabilities, their learning skills, just different areas people can go, and it's forcing them into like a wall of only having few options that maybe children don't even really want to do, but they're forced into it because performing arts isn't really promoted anymore, or it's not celebrated, and it's not looked at as something that is going to reach your fullest potential.
That is a good answer, as someone gave. That is a good answer because when we came on and we the tag, we bridged the gap because we're bridging that gap between the schools that don't have and to MIFAL. So MIFAL is bridging that gap with the arts because it's not there. And like you say, we are in a money hungry state, money hungry world right now where, well, what has to go? Let's take out art, let's take out music, let's take out physical education. So let's take these out and put something else there. And then, they forget that music has math in it. Even when we're having our lesson, I say, you got to subdivide these beats. We got to know our math, So when, there's a lot of stuff that we do every day in school that's in the arts. We have your father, and we'll share his testimony later on. Your father talked about Chef Tafani. She breaks down, even in food, you got to learn how to break down the increments in your ingredients. Because if you put too much, you're in trouble. But if you put too little, you're in trouble.
Right.
So, she breaks down to the smallest minute ingredient. If you don't have a teaspoon can be broken down. I'm like, oh, okay. And you did. That was one thing. Now, when you took when you participated in one of our culinary classes, how was that experience?
It was so fun for me. It was like the beginning phases of me starting to cook, and I really enjoyed it. I did it with my siblings, so it was like a little fun activity to do with my siblings together. And then, yeah, I was really learning a lot, like what goes into cooking. And it really went up from there, like my cooking skills and me starting to cook. It was really fun. And I really enjoyed Tiffany as well. She has such a great personality, and I really enjoyed it.
Good. All right. Here's another question for you. I want you to really think. What do you think is the most important factor in determining success as a brand ambassador?
I would say having discipline is number one. Being professional and really representing the brand in the best way possible. And then as far as success, as I said, discipline, but also understanding that it's a two-way street. Like, as I said earlier, um, you get out what you put in. So you can't really expect everything to be on your instructor or on the brand, because it also takes you to put the work in and for you to understand like what you're doing. What do you want to get out of this? And what is your instructor intending for you? What goals do you have for yourself? And how can you really meet those goals? you have to be realistic with yourself as well. So
good answer. So if someone came, how would you determine your success as a brand ambassador? Because one thing we're doing, we're on a journey. And you and I, it's not just you, because I told you, it's you and I, because when you perform, we're going to be up there with you. You know, we're going to be out there, have a whole busload or van load, somebody coming out there and support you. So, because this is something that's just not you, because we never want anybody to feel that, hey, you up there. No, you're not by yourself. You know, we're there on this journey with you. So the success, as I told in a statement that I said, the success, as you said, is you're saying, hey, I got to do it. I got to do my part, you know, and then you are the success. You know, when people see you, they see, hey, she's determined. She's living the brand. She's doing the brand. She's understanding the brand. And the one thing you said, it's not just the teachers. You know, you got to do your part. And you had to figure out, I got to do my part because I'm taking 3 lessons a week. So this is my behind the scenes 16th credit class. I'm taking 3 lessons a week to get to a goal. So if I don't do my part and I'm representing the brand, you know, because when people see you, if they say, hey, you know, tell us more about MIFAL, and you can tell them first-hand experience, hey, you can say what you've been saying. Hey, this is what MIFAL has been to me. This is my experience with it. This is how I appreciate it. You know, I have a specific goal in mind and I'm making it there. Good job. Okay. What do you think is the best way to increase brand awareness?
Well, there's many ways to really increase awareness, but I think, you know, in the era that we're in now, especially social media is a very useful tool. I know there's a lot of negatives that are spoken about social media, but there's really a lot of positives when it comes to promoting a brand and just bringing awareness in general. So I think creating content that would be tailored toward the audience that we want to you know, attract to MIFAL. So creating content and then constantly posting. So just like creating campaigns and things like that, where you're just constantly posting what MIFAL is, what MIFAL does, and then again, tailoring it to the specific audience that you really want to come.
Excellent. And now, as a brand ambassador, what do you expect when you tell somebody, now, what if they say, hey, why should I? What's going to happen when I join? You know, and you're posting all this stuff on social media, and believe it. So, every week I'm posting about your journey every week. That's why I say, send me those videos, because I like to show people step by step on social media of a person's journey when they started. Because there's the little hotel, I'm from Philadelphia, the little hotel was, when I first started playing, everybody in church was tired of me because I was playing, making mistakes. So don't think y'all the only ones that make mistakes. I was playing, but I was determined until once those mistakes, they would say the mistakes would stop. I started at 10 and was the church pianist by 18. So, so I started at 10. And those you're going to make mistakes. So when people see your progress, that's part of your journey, because they're seeing a process that you're going through. That is part of your journey. So when people see you and then they say, oh, she's getting better. Oh, she's doing this. And the song that you're playing right now, you probably never thought that was your process. You had to go through the process, so you can understand the music. Because, we always say Music Instruction for All Learners, Inc., or MIFAL, Inc., or MIFAL, where music knows no age, or where music knows no age, because, it's tailored to the young and old. And you're kind of in between because you're young. You're not the little girl, was when when you want to learn, but you're an adult. So we tailor it for everybody. We make it fit for everybody. And we watch everyone's journey. And your journey is special to us because you have, like you said, a specific goal in mind. I want to go up here and do this. Now, the way I'm going to do this is almost like preparing. That's your Super Bowl. You're preparing for your Super Bowl or your pageant so you can get up there and do what you need to do. And when preparing for stuff, people post, posting left and right, posting here and there, so people can see, hey, what is going on? People are posting left and right so they can see. And that way, when you get to your journey and when you get up there to the pageant and people seeing what you're doing, and, you tell about your story, because, when you tell about your journey, I know nothing, excuse me, but now I'm in the know. And that's what it's like. You didn't know, but now you know, you understand, because this is your 5th week and you've taken on a lot for about 15 lessons in 5 weeks. So what do you think about that?
I think everything you said is very true. And even speaking to what you said earlier, how you said it's like an extra credit, I really consider this an extra 3 credit class. I'm really taking 18 credits because it's 3 lessons a week. So that's the 3 credit class. And, it really takes that motivation. And honestly, for anyone who would be asking those questions, like, well, why should I? A lot of what I was speaking to earlier would be my response to that. You're going to benefit either way by learning music. Mr. Orlando, he's going to teach you those foundations, and it's not just going to be, excuse me, it's not just going to be you're learning a song for fun. It is going to be fun, but it's also going to be enriching for you and a learning journey for you. You're already teaching, like you said, math in it, and then it's like a new language as well. So, and then you're also very patient with me because you understand that this is a challenge for me. You're an instructor that's not, what's the word? You make me feel very included, like you said, we're in this together. You said you're coming to my pageant without me even inviting you. And so that it made me feel like family. It kind of made me feel like home. And so I feel like anybody should really want that, because that's really rare in the world that we really live in. You don't come across that a lot. So I would really give the advice for anybody to really join MIFAL, because there's more than just music as well that MIFAL has.
Excellent. And next to your father, I'll probably be the loudest one up there too. So when you see the 2 loud men, it's going to be me and him. He may be on top of my neck and make sure we can see it with all the people around, but we're going to be there. We got you, because support is the most important thing that everyone needs from their family. Don't just say good luck.
Right.
Nah, they want to, we are, and the key word you said is family. We are family. I ain't gonna start singing a song. We are, but we are family, because we are a family oriented organization, faith-based and family-based. We here together, and only family can say, okay, brother, I need you to do me a favor. I don't know if you can do it. Now you can say no. It's a challenge, because your father is always a challenger. So it's a challenge, but can you take it? We only can go to family and say that, people we know, because he said he knew me, because anybody else is like, I don't know. That, originally, but I like how you come to me and say, when we're going to play, first thing, everyone, I want to play this song. Okay, but you got to learn the basics. You got to learn and understand the basics. You just want to jump into the song. I say, no, we got to learn the basics so you know what's going on. You'll learn a lot of basics all at one time, and it's not easy. And I told you that in the beginning. It ain't going to be easy, but we can do it. It ain't going to be easy, because there's students that's doing it once a week that have issues because they're still trying to comprehend everything that's going on. But I will tell you, you a dynamite student. You get all A's in our class. And I'm not just saying, but you get all A's because you are doing it. You're doing something that's not the easiest thing to do. and you're learning. And that's the best part. What do you think is the most important to remember when representing the brand?
I think always remembering to stay professional, understanding what you're representing, knowing how to really speak to the magnitude of the brand itself, and never really losing that purpose of what MIFAL is doing and your purpose and your goal, like as a student, a part of MIFAL.
Okay. That's a good answer. So what is your purpose right now?
My purpose.
Besides, you're not just a student, you are going to be the face. You are the face of the company. Meaning like, okay, I'm going to see my face over here. I'm going to see my face over there. So if they ask me to play something, I better be, it depends on what they ask me to play, and they're going, people are going to ask you, they may say, well, why are you representing? Because when you're going to be the one that if they call or if they come to, if they see you, why? What is, I know we've been drilling this into you. What is MIFAL? What is MIFAL? What is MIFAL? I'm passionate about music because I've been doing this since the age of 10 and teaching for over 4 decades. But now when you're instilling this, you try to instill everything into a different generation. You are the different generation that we're still in this. So when I'm gone, y'all can say, wow, he instilled all, because we always talk about the teachers, the instructors, the professors, even in college. You remember your college professors that have instilled something into you. Because I always tell people I'm a plethora of information from my college professors who fussed at me. My wife always say, you just mean. I'm like, no, I'm stern. So, so like football players, everybody think football coaches are mean. No, they got a job to do. If they want to win that game, they're going to do what they need to do. If we're preparing you for a performance, we always watch American Idol. They just don't get up there and do something. They got to work. If you see the behind the scenes of any performance, it's work. So when you go up there to perform, which are they?
Sorry, can you repeat what you said? It kind of.
I was saying when you go perform, your instructor or your teacher's not going to be up there with you. You're by. I always tell the student, I can't help. So we try to learn that stage. You're all by yourself.
Yep, and that's
so
really
that's
the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's really like the most important part, but no, let me take that back. The most important part is what you do behind the scenes, the work that you put in before you get to that moment. And then that's the end part. And that's when everything comes together to really see that big masterpiece.
And I like that word you use, masterpiece. That is the masterpiece. Now I have one more question, but we're going to bring on a clip. We're going to bring on a clip of Mr. Harvey's testimony about the magic of MIFAL. This is something that we're working on a commercial. And this is one of the clips that we like. So I wanted to bring that on so that way we can see, hey, oh, okay, this is what he was talking about.
Good morning. My name is Harvey Smith, Jr., and I just want to talk to you this morning a little bit about MIFAL Incorporated. It's just been a wonderful experience for me from the beginning, meeting Orlando and realizing what his skills were in his business. And so right away I was interested because I knew as a young man I was always interested in music myself, but I just never took advantage of the opportunity. I always wanted to play the saxophone myself and just never followed up on it. And so I have my kids now, and I'm also a grandfather. And so right away, my granddaughter, Malaya, had an interest in playing the piano. So as soon as she expressed that to me, I had just met Orlando, and I reached out to him, and and asked if he'd be interested in giving her lessons. And sure enough, he accepted that opportunity. And it's just been wonderful from the very beginning. I mean, she, everybody starts off slow, and I think she wasn't in maybe 30 days or 45 days that she did her first recital. And it blew me away that she was able to be taught so quickly and actually perform in that short period of a time. And it's about a year later, maybe not quite a year, but I ask her all the time, because I say to her, I don't want to force you to do this. You make sure you let me know if you're still interested, or if you're not interested. Either way is fine with me. And they call me Babu. She says, Babu, no, I love my lessons, and kids get busy doing other things, and sometimes she miss. But she always says, I love playing. So thank you to MIFAL for that. And then just one more point. My daughter, who is a college student at Penn State University, studying pre-law, very gifted student, she's going to be entering into a pageant this spring. And she reached out to me and said that I've not played the piano before, but, God has put it on me that this is what I want to do as a talent. And so we don't have a lot of time for that. But I said, well, if anybody can get it done, I know Orlando can get it done over at MIFAL. And so I reached out to him, and just the gentleman that he's been since I met him day one. He accepted the challenge. He talked to my daughter. They came up with a plan, then included me in that plan. And I said, well, let's give it a go and see what happens. And she just sent us a video the other day of her progress, which, no surprise knowing Orlando, you could see that she is well on her way to being prepared for performing at this pageant. So just wanted to reach out and say thank you to MIFAL, thank you to Orlando and his staff. You guys are excellent. You guys have done everything and more. You've exceeded my expectations. And not to mention, there's a cook and chef element that my family was exposed to also. That's an extraordinary program. I've benefited with some great food from MIFAL chef instructions. So thank you guys very much, and God bless.
Well,
Beautiful.
we're back. Yeah, that was a beautiful testimony. And stuff like that, because I always tell the students, we work hard and we get to play hard. And that's with anything. If you work hard, you get a chance to play hard. And then after that, it's party time. Once the performance is done, we go out and party. That's the best part. You celebrate success. And as a family, that's what we want to do. We want to celebrate success. And we're going to celebrate you, because you're just going to go all the way. I've never been to Penn State, so I'm gonna wear my Temple shirt, but I never wear Penn State. But I'm gonna wear my Temple shirt, but that's okay. I'm gonna get a Temple shirt and I'm gonna wear it on Penn State campus and be proud of it. But that's okay. Just have some fun. But here is something that you said in the beginning, and I want you to really think about it. Because dealing with 15 credits and a 16 credit course as well, adding another one as soon as school starts, what do you think is the best way to stay organized and efficient? I'll state that again. What is the best way to stay organized and efficient? Because you're carrying a full load, and I was a chicken. I never carried 15 credits, so I applaud you. But what is the best way to stay organized and efficient with your new position as the brand ambassador, and with also because when you told us about your load, it's like, your father talked about your load. I'm like, wow. But it's called working together, because we understand what you're already doing, but it's a way I say, yeah, we're gonna be there with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, you have to do more than just sparingly do things. Like, you have to have good time management skills. And, there's ways to learn that. There's research. Google is right at your hands, like good time management skills. And a tool that I use is my calendar. My dad actually taught me like how to do that. Before, I didn't really utilize it. But once it came to having a lot of different things going on, I said, I need something to keep me organized and knowing what's going on, because what was happening before I was using my calendar was I would miss things or forget about things. And so after you get a calendar and you can remind yourself, okay, I have this event coming up tomorrow, or whatever event is coming up. And so I would say organizer, time management, and then also having structure to your schedule. That's why I like Mr. Orlando, that we have a set schedule, even though we are both flexible, which is also a great benefit. Having a set schedule is really beneficial, because every Monday at 2 o'clock I have this lesson. Every Wednesday at 6 o'clock I have this lesson. So there's a lot that really goes into staying organized and really getting everything done so that nothing like slips under the rug.
Excellent. And that's what everybody, anybody that's professional. And let me tell you, my college days, and anybody has studied the arts, music, art, any type of, when you study an instrument or vocal, we have all walked, and I tell all my students, we have all walked the hall of shame, meaning that you forgot you had a whole week. See, you got it good. You got it worse. You got 3 lessons a week, but we had 1 lesson a week that we supposed to practice for 6 days, knowing that we got to, whatever, get that practice in so you can get to that next lesson with your professor or instructor in their private studio. So the night before you realize, oh, I didn't practice. So you try to cram. So we didn't have all these electronics back then. I'm giving my age away a little bit, but we didn't have all these little organizers or calendars and stuff. We were just going day by day, trying to figure out, okay, I got this class, because many times we think you're just going, when you go to school for music or the arts, you think and your experience that, oh, I just have to practice my instrument. No, to be well-rounded, you have to study other subjects as well. And that's what you're basically doing. And so you got to put all that other stuff and I like what your father said. He gave me an idea, use his calendar so so you can put your practice time in, or I got to practice. So that way, making sure that practice is part of your daily routine, because once practice becomes part of your daily routine, then you have a better understanding of, okay, I got all this, but I can practice for a half hour. If I get an hour and I'm good. Yeah. But because all that time adds up. So if you practice a half hour a day, that's about 3 hours before your next lesson. And that, when it comes to play the piano, it's eye-hand muscle memory. That's all it is. People don't think about that. Eye-hand muscle memory and learning those notes. And you're learning more notes now than a regular person in our program would, because of the aggressive way that we're doing it. You're learning notes outside the staff, inside the staff, beyond the staff. And you're like, what? Oh, yeah, yep. I told you this. You got to know those notes. You cannot think about it. And that's why when I sent you that music and you like, okay, you probably said, what did I sign up for?
Yes.
But and that's okay, because I said, if we just need 90 seconds, this is all we good. They don't want you to play the whole song. You ain't gonna play the whole song. We just need 90 plus a few more, maybe 90 to almost 2 minutes, 90 a little more, but that's all you need. And we're also, for ladies and gentlemen, for those who listen, I tell her, when you're playing, that you have to know your music. You got to know what you know. I tell her fingering has to make sense, because a lot of, I'm going to get beat up, but a lot of, there's a lot of church musicians out there who don't read music. That's a missing skill, so they can get on me later. That's okay. Fingering have to make sense, and I've been doing virtual learning for almost 3 years. Virtual learning, I've become an expert at virtual learning, because she'll try to say, oh, you ain't see that. I say, yeah, but I'm going to see it next time, because so, they try the tricks. I say, you ain't see that. But, when it comes to education, a lot of people say we can't do it virtually. I've been doing it virtually for almost 3 years because of what's going on with the pandemic. We're going to, transfer in slowly into a space, but that's down the line. But educate you. We can still learn virtually. It depends on the person, depends on the student. But if we, if a person like Mr. Amaris Smith can learn to do what she's doing virtually, I think it's possible. Anybody can do it. And she can attest to that. She's a testimony that don't say, well, we can't do it. No, it can be done because she's doing it. And people see her successfully doing it as well. So as we are close, we're almost down to an hour. Is there anything you want to say to, I'm going to bring your dad on as well. Is there anything that you want to say to our listening audience who have came, listened, learned more about you as our new brand, the new face of the company? Because I know they were tired of seeing me. So, at least they got a fresher, younger face. And I will say you and your dad look just alike. You are his twin. Or his mini me. So is there anything, as we're winding down, is there anything you want to say to our listening audience, our audience that gets to see the new fresh face of MIFAL?
Yes, I will say, believe in yourself. MIFAL believes in you. And also understand that when you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. Do not let people speak doubt into your mind. Do not let other people tell you what you cannot do, because I love that MIFAL is just like me, where they will take on a challenge and they don't say we can't do it, but they ask the question of how can we do it and what are the steps to do it, and figure it out on how we can to really accomplish something. So again, once you put your mind to something, you can do it, and don't let other people speak down into your mind. And really, MIFAL is a very rewarding brand as far as that type of mindset, because mindset is key when it comes to success.
Mindset. I got to write that down. When I look at this again, mindset is the key to success. I like that. You need to write that. That's going to be your first book. Mindset is key to success. And we're going to bring Dad on and see if he has any last words. Okay, Dad, you are on. I know you've been watching. Do you have any? Because we're winding down. Because I think we in this together. We are all in this together. It's not a thing, just me.
Yeah, just I just choked up watching the interview, because I just, MIFAL's a great experience, and you guys picking Amaris as a brand ambassador is an awesome opportunity for her. Just so proud of her. And listening to all of the things and your dialogue back and forth, with each other. She embodies what, to me, MIFAL is all about. When you look at it and you think about experience in life, some people are musicians for life, but I think the opportunity here for people to look at with Amaris is, here's somebody that is in college, and you're teaching her in a very short period of time. So like she said, she has to put the work in, then you have to have a willing instructor so that you guys can go on this journey together. So what that means from a brand standpoint is that if you have a passion or even an inkling of thought that you want to learn music, it's never too late. It's never too late. It's just like Amaris said, it's about a mindset. And if that's in your mind, then you owe it to yourself in your lifetime to explore every opportunity, every dream, and every vision that you have. And the last thing I'll say is Amaris gave a wonderful word on Thursday night when in the word that she gave, she was talking about the difference between what God put you, what your purpose for, and what your assignment is in life. And maybe you guys can have her speak to that somewhere down the road. But there's a difference between an assignment and what God has purposed you for in this world, in this thing we call a journey. And right now, her assignment is learning music. But with that music, God, some kind of way, is going to impact her purpose through her ability to learn this music right now while she's on this journey. we as a family don't believe that anything is by coincidence or perchance. We're a faith-based family. And so God gives us assignments that will impact our purpose for the benefit of improving his kingdom. And so Amaris gave a wonderful word about that on Thursday night that educated the whole family. And so I'll just conclude right there. Otherwise, I'll get to preaching, and then we'll have to just take this into a whole.
Yes, I like that, and I appreciate, excuse me, I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the time. I appreciate Amaris for taking on, because, and Harvey understands, as my wife says, I'm a hard taskmaster. I say, yeah, because in the real world, I don't say hard, I'm stern, because I always tell the students, you have to know what you know, what you know. When you up there performing like football, you got to know what you're doing. You just can't go out there all willy-nilly. Same thing. We have to know what you know. And I appreciate him for calling on us. It's not just me. We're a family. It's calling on us, because this is a goal and a journey, and we appreciate the journey. And this is the first episode of Live at the MIFAL Libretto. We have a newsletter, but this is the live version of the newsletter. And I appreciate you guys. And again, I want you guys to stay on stay on for after we're done. And I'm going to talk to you for a little bit. But I'm actually going to let you guys go right now. Just stay on for one moment. And I just want to thank you guys for the listening audience. Thank all of you who have been listening, sharing, telling people about us, because this is our first live at the MIFAL Libretto episode. There's more to come, and we'll have Amaris back on her journey, and we'll probably try to stream her journey as well. But I just want to take my hats all off to all of you and thank you. And I want you guys to have a blessed and a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.